break down the definitions. Miss Polly was popping.
Hello.
What's good? How you?
I'm okay.
That's what's up, man. So we've been talking for a minute. It's been a fun conversation, interesting to say the
Mhm.
least. So you came in just in the nick of time. We about to go into the archetypes. That's the word I've been using. Everybody seemingly accepted it. Archetype
Yeah.
of monogamy, polygamy, so on and so forth, right? And so now that we're into this part of the conversation, essentially, do we need to look at the prescriptions that we subscribe to, that being monogamy overwhelmingly, and look at potentially different options to increase the success rate of our marriages and relationships?
Yeah, that's. I think so. I think
So,
so.
okay, so I have the definitions pulled up. However, it may be maybe just more entertaining overall if we do you know you can define all four, right? Essentially.
Yes,
Okay, and I have the definitions as well. I
sure.
think, do we all understand monogamy? Yeah, we good on that one?
Yeah.
Wait. Can we specify when we say that serial monogamy? Because that's what you guys really practice.
What is the term?
Serial monogamy. No one really practices monogamy.
Okay, what is serial?
Serial monogamy
Meaning,
means you're dating one
um,
person at a time, but then that
yeah.
relationship ends, and then you get another boyfriend, and it ends, and then it goes. You're serial
Oh, I understand. Okay.
monogamy. Monogamy
Okay.
is there's one, and there's only one, and then you die alone, and that is it.
Okay. I think that's a
No.
good clarification. Yes, we're talking about serial monogamy.
Hmm.
But it is one person at a time, right?
Hmm.
Under the guise of serial monogamy, right?
Yes.
Even if that relationship ends, you get in another one, be with that one person only. Okay,
Mhm.
that's good. So I think that one is clean. Now, how about
I,
polygamy? Go
I
ahead.
got a
Go ahead, Chief.
question. So I thought monogamy was marriage. So dating counts as monogamy, or okay? I'm just trying to clarify.
Yes. Oh, sure.
Okay.
Well, when you get down, I mean, it depends on how you want to look at it. I think when we start really breaking down the words, it gets so complex. And I don't mean it like everyone's
I got
stupid.
you. I got
I'm
you. No, yeah,
saying that, you know what I'm saying? If we're going to play the word game, we'll be at this all night in circles. It's just what it is.
yeah,
But yeah,
yeah.
you're right. Gammy does mean, at the end of the day, it means marriage. But a lot of people are still
I
in
get
these
what you.
relationships. You know what I'm
We're
saying?
on the same page. We're on the same page. I just wanted
Yeah,
to.
but I think Cheek is technically right, right? But I'll fall into the
Hmm.
purpose to acknowledge the
Yeah.
point.
But
Um,
isn't there a component of the serial monogamy is people who can't necessarily be alone, so they would go from one monogamous relationship to one monogamous relationship without ever having to be able to take a break? Wouldn't that be the definition of it? I could be wrong.
Yeah, no, it's not. Someone who can't be alone for any extended period of time is just someone who has issues with you, like saying being alone. But you could end a relationship and get into another one 3 months down the road. It doesn't mean you're still serial monogamy.
Okay.
yeah, I think it's just the dating aspects, right? Okay, okay. So now polygamy is the one that's the term most often used when it's a style outside of monogamy. So what is the correct definition of polygamy?
So polygamy is going to be one man with multiple women. If you want to be say they're married, they could be married. But those women they're not supposed to have a sexual interaction with each other. It's supposed to be like that sister wife, the word sister implying that they're not going to have any sexual interaction. You're just like a loving support and in love with that person as a woman on woman, but not intimacy as if it's your like a sexual partner. That's what it's supposed to be. So, and those women will only be with that man, and that's it.
Okay. Does everybody agree with that?
I just have a question. I have a question really quick.
Well,
So,
hold on. Well, first
uh,
let me see. Well,
oh,
wait. Let me first see. Does everybody agree with that definition?
I think.
What you think is dangerous?
I think they don't have to be married for
Well,
for
that's what I
that.
said. Yeah, he
You
Yeah.
changed
agree?
it. He can say, yeah, you either way. Shit.
Yeah, the relationship. I think we're loosening up to the relationship so we can encompass more people.
And it seemed like she more so described polygyny, but I can be confused. So
Yeah.
but
So
I
no, I'm
think
glad. Yeah. So this right here, and we just mining through, right?
Yeah.
So to Red Pill's point, polygamy here is a practice or custom of having more than one wife or husband at the same time.
yeah, that's where the woman can have a person too, and that's why I said it sounds polygyny is where only the man can have other people and the women can't. So yeah, what you described was polygyny, I think.
So here's the best way to describe this. Think of a triangle, okay? In a triangle has three sides, all on equal sides. In that triangle, let's just put the man at the focal point, which is at the top of the triangle, and then you put two women on the side. When those two women only focus on that one man, Miss Polly, correct me if I'm wrong. That's polygamy, or is that poly? Which one is that, Polly?
Well,
Can I mention something before you go? Because that's why I was saying the word soup. Because you're
Yeah,
gonna be so focused on the words and the, like I said, it's more of like you said, if you want to go down a scientific realm, you can. I mean, I wrote them down a couple times, but at that point, when I talk to anybody on a regular level, they get all stressed out about the words. Oh, you said give me and not. It's like, okay, you know what I'm saying, and
right.
that's where I don't want y'all to get into that, and then you'll be arguing over words all night.
Mhm.
Polygamy
okay.
Yeah,
though
but
is the
I'm talking
overall
about the two
practice.
women that
It could be
focus, the two
either.
women that focus on one man. What is that called again, Miss Polly?
That's polygyny.
Yeah,
So wait,
All
wait,
right, and
wait. All right, all
then
right, all right, all right. Stop. Because I thought we were adding clarification. We're
yeah,
convoluting, right? So
well,
let's slow it
it's
down.
another
Just
one
I
when
know,
all three,
but
all three.
again, we just jumping. So take this walk with me. All right. So polygamy, based on the definition, I tend to agree with what Mary's saying, where it's you got it here and then you have a tree, let's say. Right? Now, this one alludes to something different, polyamory, right? So I'm gonna share this slide. So this is what
yeah.
it says. However, when I was diving deeper, this is what it shows, which is kind of different. So polyamory, this is the AI overview, also known as consensual non-monogamy, is the practice of having more than one romantic or intimate relationship at the same time with the knowledge and consent of everyone involved. This one, when I was going through it, it shows this more often than not. It shows a woman when you type in polyamory having more than one man. I don't know if they do that just for an agenda or something, but when you look up polyamory, it always shows a one woman with two men quite often. But per the AI overview and the definition, um, people have more than one romantic partner, and everybody's aware of it.
I think they do that more specifically because with polyamory, it's more so not everybody has to be intimately involved with each other, but they have intimate relationships with who they choose. So, as far as the relationship where it looks like two males and one female, a lot of those based relationships, when it comes to the poly world, the two men are never romantically or intimately involved. Versus if you're showing two women with a man, normally everybody is involved. But more so with the two men and the one woman, it shows that it's giving her consent to deal with this man and that man, but never together.
Okay, so that doesn't allude to those men being homosexual, right?
No. I think
Okay.
that's why they show it more often like that, because if you look at their hand holding and how they are, holding the woman even in the picture, you can show that the intimate relationship is with the women alone and not with the two men together.
Yeah.
I will say I think that, I mean, from what you know, when it comes to the men not really dealing with each other, that's more polyandry. Like, but it's not technically because of what I said. If you go into like a room and like everybody's poly, I wouldn't say I was polyandry. I don't call myself polyandry. I say I'm polyamorous. But if like it's the same on the opposite. If you're a polygamous man, you have one, wife. I mean, you have two wives. You're not gonna say, I'm a polyamorous person. You wouldn't say that because the structure is not the same. That's the same for polyandry. Your men are not supposed to interact with any other partner in a sexual way or intimate way, but you as the woman.
Okay. So this, I think, okay, I understand what you're saying. I think the polyamory seems like they just fucking. There's no
It's like mini
hierarchy
love.
structure. There's no real commitment in terms of, hey, I fuck with you, but you could fuck with whoever as long as we understand each other. I think that the polygamy is almost like you need a sign off if she gonna do it or if you gonna do it, and there has to be a commitment if you add a person on either side based on this here. And I know it's big enough. I don't need to read it out loud.
I think that's why they specify marriage a lot. The separation of, the marriage side of the relationships and the part that's you're not necessarily committed.
Yeah, 100%. Polygamy has the commitment factor. Polyamory seemingly does not.
Yeah, it's not the same as hot wifing. Hot wifing and polygamy is different.
Oh God. Oh God.
Okay. Now, this third one, polygyny. Polygyny, AI overview, is a type of polygamy where the man marries multiple women. The term comes from ancient Greek word poly, meaning many, and how you say that? Goni, meaning woman or wife. So I think this is often Guinea. Okay, this is often what we see in biblical texts. Polygyny.
Correct. That's when you get to like the Job and stuff like that. How he had multiple wives and stuff like that. That's what polygyny
is. Well, not Job, but Will trying, right? So let's just give him a nod for trying.
Yeah. Job here, what the hell you mean? Job here have multiple wives. Solomon, Job, they all the same.
And polygyny.
Let it go.
It's all the same. Fuck it.
We're not gonna do that.
I think polygyny is what most men aim for, what most men want. That's the one that the vast majority of men want that lifestyle are probably comfortable with.
Funny how I said black people involve themselves in this. So a man is okay with a woman being in the bedroom with his woman?
Huh?
Funny how I said that black people participate in this. So is a man okay with a second woman in the bedroom having sex with his woman?
If we all together.
Without him?
Ain't that a bitch? So I said that there is a such thing as black coquetry. So when a woman is having sex with your woman, no, well, we're not gonna do is skip over it.
That's derail though.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna let them get it.
I said this thing a long time ago. A lot of people participate in things and they don't know the actual terms of what it is. When
We're not even arguing that. We trying to understand.
I'm not even arguing that at all.
Y'all may not, but I'm arguing with Hemp. Hemp, you said that black people don't participate in this. Yes, they do.
I'm biased.
Don't know it. Be biased. That's okay.
I'm delusional when it comes to that. All right.
Yeah,
it's okay.
You said people. I think people are getting more knowledge, though. I'll tell you that. I think a lot of people want more knowledge. Like, I kind of oversee one of the groups on Facebook, like Poly, and like I don't know. There's been a big influx. So whatever's going on here in the world right now, a lot of people are jumping in these groups. Like, there's like I have to approve like 500 today.
They motherfuckers are interested. But so the constructs themselves, right? If we say, okay, monogamy doesn't seem to be working for so-called black people, right? When we look at the numbers, I think there was an overarching agreement for men being able to have sex with other women with little to no attachment. So if we all agreed that without argument, do one of these other constructs make more sense for the sake and success of relationships over monogamy?
I think polygyny is the future. The man with the most resources, as this economy get worse and worse, Women would rather be a well-off man's number 2 than a broke dude's number 1 and only. It's already lean that way. They sharing rich dudes and wealthy dudes and well-to-do dudes left and right already. A lot of women is in these kind of situations, all those definitions you had, a lot of women in these situations right now and just won't admit it. Like how many women share baby daddies? Trey got 5 baby mamas. Some of his kids born all in the same year. You was being one of those terms without even knowing it. You was sharing a man and he was sleeping with all y'all.
The red pill. This is where that theory falls
more
short.
men share baby.
Wait, guys, come on. Let him paint his premise. Let him finish the premise. Red pill, just condense your premise. We don't need all the examples. We know all that shit. So you tell us why polygyny you think is the best archetype.
Because
you already did.
Women are hypergamous.
Okay.
The economy is getting bad.
Okay.
They already willing to share guys that had the money in the status they like. They willing to do that. We know that.
Okay.
So it's gonna be better to be a made man's number 2 than a Taco Bell part-time employee's number 1 and only.
Okay. Now,
logical and practical.
Now, how do y'all want to do it? Y'all want to push against his or state why what archetype you think is best?
Push against it.
Push against it. Yeah.
All right, everybody want to push?
Let's push.
Well,
right,
just to clarify, I thought part of the definition was consent. So you trying to use women that don't know that they're in a poly relationship means they're not in a poly relationship.
Polygyny, they would know. So real quick, polygyny, they would know. They would know who she is in the whole 9 yards, and you have a commitment to each and every one of them. Polyamory, they know what your conduct is, but they may not have specifics. All right, those are the definitions we're gonna go with. All right, with that, those are the ones. All right, I hate the trumpet, but those are the ones we're gonna go with.
But that means there would be no 1 and 2, though, right? So they would be both equal.
She would be second if you had a first wife. She'd be the second wife. He's saying, why be a number 1 wife to a lesser man when you can be a second wife to a greater man? That's what he's saying about 1 and 2.
And that's the future.
Oh, well, I mean, for the ladies, remember you don't have to have a hierarchy. You don't have to have a hierarchy when you get with a man. Remember that. Don't let that stop your mind from. You don't have to have a hierarchy. You could all be equal.
Well, per the Bible, right? The first wife cannot feel the effects of you having a second wife.
Right, so you'd be equal.
I know if y'all stop cutting in to Miss Polly's point. See that part? Now we good. Okay. Sherelle Big Head Ass and Will Big Head Ass want to push back at Red Pill Ranger.
Go ahead.
Well,
no, actually I was saying that was the way of the past, but the main reason why they're gonna have to go into polygyny because it's not enough men to women. The men to women ratio is off. So unless women are gonna start marrying each other, or they're just going to be alone, they're going to have to share men. But it's typically going to be women with other men's children. It's not going to be the single women with no kids because they will be able to get a monogamous situation. But if a bunch of women need a father figure for their children, it would be beneficial for them to be in a polygyny relationship, so that all of these kids could have, like, if your baby daddy got 5 baby mamas, y'all need to all get together and be with that one man, so that one man can be a father figure to all of his children. That would make more sense than thinking Cheeky gonna take care of your 5 kids by 5 other different men. So, you know what I'm saying? The men who don't have kids and the men who get to choose, they're typically going to choose the women with no kids. So, yeah, like, the polygyny going to have to work if y'all want these children, these little boys to have daddies. They're going to have to share.
Hap, you muted.
My bad. So where you gonna go? I just want to understand, Sherelle. So you're saying essentially you agree with polygyny, but for a different reason, and you articulated the reason.
Yeah, that's gonna benefit the children as long as it's benefiting the children.
Okay. I'll just clarifying, just because I mischaracterized what you wanted to say as pushback. So that's my fault. That's why I wanted to re-clarify. Go ahead, Will.
That's the red pill theory never fucking wins. I'm gonna tell you the number one reason why. If the main complaint is that less and less men are having the access to sex, if you have more men who take on more of the women, it's going to be lesser dudes to have sex. Excuse me. Not to include that point. So, well, yeah, to include that point. The basis of it is that it's not going to work, because if you can't be satisfied with the one, what makes you think you're going to be satisfied with 8 when you can't even keep the one happy? So now all you're doing is you're just creating a stable of unhappiness that's soon to eventually rage out. This is why the theory never works. They tried it before and it failed horribly.
Talk to Nick Cannon and Cam Newton.
I'm not talking to Nick Cannon and Cam Newton. I'm talking.
We were talking about
hold on. We're talking about the average man, though.
But my point wasn't the average man.
Okay, but I understand that. But how many Nick Cannons? Wait, hold on. How many Nick Cannons and Cam Newtons is there in the world?
And that's my point. They're gonna get shared because they are rare.
Okay, but how many Nick Cannons and Cam Newtons are in the world? Versus
I don't know,
okay, so versus the percentage of average men out there who can't even keep the one, what are they going to do with 8?
They ain't gonna get none. That's my point.
Oh, so the whole point of red pill is to remove men from the access of sex.
No, this ain't even nothing about red pill. This is just my theory. This is just my concept. I asked the question.
That's the red pill concept.
No, this is just something I said.
Oh, okay, cool. So when I hear red pill talking points, right? I
don't use talking points. I just told you.
Well, what did he say that was a? What did he say that you're pinpointing as a red pill talking point?
I have no idea.
Because the conversation is around polygyny, so he's answering based on that. Go ahead.
I understand that, but the red pill talking point is that men need to have more access to sex by having multiple women. Am I incorrect or am I correct?
I didn't say that.
I didn't say you. Is that the red pill talking point? Yes or no?
I never heard it.
I've heard it plenty. Who do y'all listen to?
What? None of we not even a part of that. So what's the point? Are you fighting with red pill? Or are you answering the question?
I'm not. I'm fighting with the theory. The theory is that he said the future is that men it will go to the point where men will be more, is it polyandrous, where they have multiple women, right?
Polygynous.
I'm sorry.
Polygynous. Yeah.
Saying all one damn words, too many words. Anywho, it will not work because that's one. It's not enough men enough for that. It's not enough men enough for that women. And then you need the percentage of capable men who are able to have that access to that women and actually be able to sustain a relationship with those women. It just won't work.
But so here's what I'm hearing. That's what I'm asking. Like, you're kind of taking your stance as opposed to opposing his. Red Pill saying, hey, the men that have the resources are going to be highly or over pursued by women, and they'll be okay with being a sister wife in that construct because she's hypergamous and that man has the resources she wants.
I understand that, but what happens when those resources will run out? This is why that theory
for the broke motherfucker, when the resources run out, he gonna have a problem. So what?
I understand, but for the rich motherfucker, those resources may not just be all monetarily.
Okay.
Because we can look at the Cam Newton, we can look at the Nick Cannon situation. If that number keeps on increasing, then the drainage of those resources will come out faster. So what happens when those resources come to a stop?
The man would be, he's not just, so that I think your premise is he's getting them so he can have sex with multiple women. But Red Pill never made that argument. Is that your argument, that they're going to deplete their resources by trying to take on too many women?
Yes.
Okay. They can take on meaning they can afford.
Yeah, so Red Pill, let me just do it real quick. So yeah, they're not gonna, I don't think they're gonna overextend themselves, right? Now, are you saying the reason why polygyny don't work is because men will overextend themselves? If so, what archetype are you saying we should prescribe to or subscribe to?
There's too many words. I'll just say this: just be with one person, just be done.
That's monogamy.
Yeah, okay, cool. That word.
Okay.
You know, I got a third grade education, nigga. Come on, now. I just know how to make money. I don't know all these fucking.
Oh, wow.
Okay. So
No,
men.
it's
So go ahead, Will. Go ahead. My bad.
No, it's just as simple as that. Just get you one and just do what you can to grow with that person. Now, unless you can fit that lifestyle and you can front that bill with not just monetarily but other resources. If you can front that bill, go for it. But I'm telling you right now, eventually it's going to fail.
Okay.
Especially if you do it en masse. Let's just take America, right? In America, if you took all of the 1% men or all of those men who are capable enough to do this, one, it would increase this it would increase the shortage of sex for average men. So that's going to cause them to rage, right? Because the lack of sex causes niggas to wild out. At least that's what I hear y'all say. So now those capable men who has all the women, eventually those women will be like, all right, well, nigga, we getting kind of short. What we doing? Oh, well, I don't know what we're going to, let me go get another wife. Oh, okay. All right, cool. So what happens when it's drained completely? So now do the women go to the broke niggas?
Yes. Yes. What you're describing is already happening.
This is about increasing the probability for sex for rich and broke niggas, but just leave women out there to dry.
No, what you're saying is already happening. Most women would love to have the top tier guy, but most of them understand they can't get him, so they get with the guy they can get. You know what I'm saying? So it's happening right now.
And what happens? What happens in 40 years when those resources aren't there anymore? Where will those women go?
So, if I could, don't mind.
Go ahead.
I think that the idea that red pill rangers, I just don't think it'll work because I think women today are very set on having just one man because they're very jealous. In most cases, I don't see polygyny or polyamory or any of these things working unless they get older, right? I can't think of a 20. I don't know. I can't think of no 20-year-old doing all of this.
Women with options, yeah.
Yeah,
I got a lot of money.
I can see somebody that's a little older maybe doing this because of what it requires. There's a level of maturity on an emotional level, on a financial level, on all of these different levels that I think only come with older age. Right now, the people that are doing this, that's polyamorous that I know of and I can think about, they're all LGBTQ and very left-leaning and unique, for lack of better words. They're not the just everyday walking around person from my experience. So I just think that
I have a question.
Go ahead.
Hold on. Let me,
I just go ahead. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I stopped myself. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, it's all good. I just want people to finish painting out because I want to understand everybody's logic behind it. Because I want to ask Cheeky, and it feels like he's winding down, which is why you interjected that point, so that makes sense. I just want to understand which archetype would you recommend based on your stance.
Me?
Yes, sir.
To be honest, man, I don't know if any of these really work, but I would recommend monogamy just because I don't think that a man I don't think most people have the capacity that it takes to fulfill a person on all levels like the way that we're looking for or like they look for.
Okay. So you're saying what's more likely to be achieved is monogamy?
Yeah, because I mean, the poly things, those things would ideally, since one person can't feel it, go find somebody else and then use each person to do that. The problem is the emotions that come with that and the jealousy and all those different things. And again, I think it may work at an older age, but as of now in America and how we view things, we're not a communal minded thinking people. We're very individualistic, and when it comes to love and relationships, we're very possessive. I just find it hard for most American people to think this way by and large.
Got you. Okay. I think I understand that. That seems sound to me. Go ahead, Miss Polly.
Oh no, I was gonna when he had said he had mentioned that, you thought it would, people would do better one-on-one. I thought it was interesting because when you bring up monogamy, most of, like you said, now that's going on now every day is that nobody wants to stay in monogamy more than a couple of years. So they're still reaching out to other people. A lot of people cheat. People been married, they cheat, and they want to tell their spouse or anything else like that. So if we're saying that like monogamy seems to be working, but it's clear it's not working because of evidence, not clear data, then that's not working. I'm not saying it's not working all the time. Don't get me wrong. I think monogamy is nice. I've been monogamous before, it's fine. But I'm saying if you're talking about what will work coming up, I think that would be more like polyamory, just based on, like you said, it might have to do with age a little bit. There's a lot of young people. And I know you guys maybe not be in the same circles of like even me or Will, but there's a lot of youngsters out here who are poly all day long. They're all day
Yeah,
long poly. And they
yeah.
just, so yeah, the younger ones, I think if we're talking about future, I think polyamory would probably be something. And based on
Oh,
Damn.
can't do all this, or some people have this, there's a
wait,
lot
wait.
more women. I mean, I think they'll have a mix.
You heard it.
We missed
You
part of
ain't
what
miss
you said.
none.
It dropped. Could you repeat
Oh,
maybe like
I'm
last
sorry.
10
You ain't
seconds?
miss.
I think polyamory would be the best fit for the younger generation coming up because of the economy and how it's turning and play based on everybody saying they don't even know if they want to be a boy or a girl. So I don't think it even will matter the sex, if that makes sense. Maybe to
Here's
us, because a little older, but to them, they don't. It doesn't matter. You can have a girl who looks like a guy and have 3 girlfriends, but then also have a boyfriend.
he
It's
said that kind of.
Yes.
So
Yeah, so that's kind of what I was alluding to, and
yeah,
in the younger people that I know are like that, are in that, they are part of the LGBTQ. It seems there's some unison that is not discussed a lot, but that tends to be the case, and they're comfortable with that. There's nothing against it. I'm just saying it's just something that I've noticed.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But is it really that's minute? I think the LGBTQ is actually very large, and there's women who say that they aren't into other women, but are willing to be with other women
So
all
yeah,
the time.
my point in bringing that in was that I think that while it's a good idea, what I've noticed or some of the complaints that I've heard from some of these girls, because they also tend to be very spiritual, earthy. A lot of these earthy women, they are okay with they've learned it, right? So when I talk to them and kind of figure out, hey, how's things going with you guys? A lot of it they talk about the human emotion aspect, which is the jealousy, well, he's not treating me fairly, and these are the complications that come with the poly thing.
Mhm.
I think relationships as a whole is just complicated just because of the nature of humanity, and I don't think any of these really work all that well because most people are broken. So when you bring brokenness into broken situations, it doesn't matter how great the idea of a relationship is, you're still broken. I just think that overall we just need to be more cognizant of who we are as people, more understanding, and dive deeper into who we are as individuals and learn what best works for us. But if we try to
Mhm.
take this logical approach to relationships and emotions, and trust me, dealing with one woman is enough for me to realize this shit gonna be hectic, and I'm not going to do it with multiple women. Y'all already just y'all are enough, and I love y'all dearly.
Hmm.
I think that the polygyny will be like ideal, but I think at some point anybody that does have the 1% or whatever, they at some point they're going to be like, as y'all said, they're going to get tired or whatever. But I also think as the younger generation too as well, I feel some of these things are a fad or a trend for some of them folks because they're trying to figure out what's going on with themselves, trying to figure out where they go at. So as we said, you get older, it's a little different. So ideally, you would like to come together as a unit because we was doing this thousands of years ago before that, but it was a different mindset back then. So it's just now, ideally, so monogamous will be at some point they will go through. Most of them will go through the stage of polyamory, polygamy, all the other stuff. But then eventually, most of them will come back to that monogamy. But it would be ideal if we could do that. But I don't think we have the mental capacity to really sustain that on long term. So
Okay. I think that's a clear answer. Let me get the sex coaches in real quick, Mary. Miss Noni.
Going through the definitions, and I'm going to say for my personal life, as I'm older, I can, and having this conversation is having three of us in one household. We don't have little children. I'm not planning on having any children, any more children, because I can't. So for us, it's the stability of building. So that means each of us are coming into this relationship with building and sustaining the household. That's
Oh,
how I see it.
now you said us. Is it is there gender specifics when it comes to us?
Well, what it would be myself, my partner, and then adding another. It could be a
Are-
man or a woman.
Is your partner a man or woman?
My partner's a man.
Okay, and then it could be a man or woman.
hmm It would
Now,
be.
how?
Go ahead.
So you're saying you guys are bringing people into one household for resources specifically?
Resources specifically.
So there's
Mhm.
no interaction, intimate interaction?
Um, Another woman, yes,
Okay. Who's interacting with her?
both.
Okay. And another man, I would assume your current
Just
partner wouldn't be interacting,
no.
but he's okay with having another man come in as a resource?
Yes, because we had that conversation because he thought he was really selfish on thinking he was really selfish when we first had the conversation. How is it okay for me to say I want another woman in this and only thinking about me and not thinking about you may want another man?
Okay. So when you considered it for him, he started to consider it for you?
Yes.
How'd you feel about that?
I'm glad he thought about that. And
Really?
he was, oh, yes, because I would say to him multiple times, so you only thinking about yourself in a sexual way? What about me? What if I want to have another person? If it's sexual. But what if I want, and he sat back and he thought about it. It just, we had a conversation one day and the next day he said, that's very selfish of me only thinking about myself in this and not thinking about your needs as well.
He broached it himself, or did you guys have that conversation and then he took time to reprocess?
No, he came back. Well, I guess you would
Okay.
say he came back and thought about it because it literally was had. I'm just using this as an example. We had the conversation on Thursday. Friday
So,
morning, he was like, "That was very selfish of me to only think about my needs
so
and
he
not think
reprocessed.
about that." Because he reprocessed and he was like, "That's not fair. I only think about my needs and not the needs of both of us."
Mm.
Okay. See, now this Noni, what you think about this? If I came to my wife and like, yo, you know what? She would think I was trolling or sick or somebody had a fucking gun in my head. Like she would think something was wrong. Like, what did they do with me? If I'm like, you know what? I know I talked about having another shorty in here, so it's only right that I let Mandingo come in here and knock your boots off every once in a while. She would be like,
Oh,
"Yo, who the fuck is home? Like, who
oh,
am I talking to?" You know what I mean? Like,
I
yes.
understand your
yeah,
logic. I
yeah.
understand that, but you know what? One thing I've
Not the man
learned
bingo.
in this age of communication is
Hmm.
really communicating your wants and needs for your relationship, because what I may want for my relationship and what would work for my relationship may not work for Dion's, may not work for yours, may not work for Will's. Well, I know you're gonna ask me a question. I can see you done raised the hand. I seen you. I got questions. So we've been talking about it for a few years. This isn't something that's a new conversation.
Oh, I
This is,
see.
but
Okay, Noni, I see what you
but
did.
but
You been grooming that nigga. Hey, get him. Yo, don't let him
Hey,
do that
I
shit.
want
Put me
my
on
no,
speaker.
$5. I
but
want my
Put me on
$5.
speaker.
I
but
told you. I told
but
you.
Noni,
Hold
don't
on,
let
y'all.
them
the
don't let
man
them tell
part,
you grooming people.
No, no,
no, never
Noni,
that. But
Noni.
the
Hold on,
man
one
part,
second. Take your headphones out. Put me on speaker.
why he's not here?
Oh, all right, go ahead.
I just want to know, is he black? That's
Calm
all I
Yes,
down.
want to
he
know.
is. Yes, he is. Yes, he is.
Why
Every
y'all
Um,
time you
think
want
black
to talk,
men don't do
okay,
these things? Y'all,
let
wow.
me ask you a
All right,
question.
let her finish. That's my fault, Nani. I apologize. I started joking around and Open messed it up. Go ahead, finish your point,
I
my
was
bad.
like, I would date somebody outside of being black, but I am mixed, Puerto Rican and black. But anyway, um, we actually been having that conversation. And I was like, okay, these are things that we need to do first before we even add in somebody else. We need to have that solid foundation. We need to put in these boundaries. We're not adding anyone, male, female, anybody. Because here's the thing. If we just willy-nilly doing stuff, it would just like somebody will come in and just mess up your whole foundation. One of the great things is that we have grown children. You know, that was one of the things from a few years ago. It was like, oh, how are we going to tell the kids this? They all grown. Our youngest is 20. So what do we do in our house? What do we do in our household? Yes, I'm not as young as I look. I'm turned 47 to that midnight. So I see Jiggy look at me like that.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday.
It was really a real conversation, and it wasn't an easy conversation. Because I am, and I'm going to say this, I am bisexual. So for a lot of times for me, it was sexual. And then I had to realize, I know what I have, what I'm bringing. I know what he's bringing. Why not add somebody else that can add to our solid foundation? And I'm gonna get off the microphone and stop talking now.
No, you did good. You did good. Yeah. No, we understand the ad until you said man. Then we can't understand it. We can't comprehend it. But
you articulated it well. Hamp, I want to hear you say it. Will, you was right.
Right about what? Noni?
About black men.
Noni just said she Puerto Rican.
Noni is Puerto Rican and black. We're not going
so we saying Puerto Rican women are black? All right, cool.
My bad, Noni. I conveniently left your dad out. My bad.
It's okay, Ham. Just say Will, you was
right. Black. Okay. She is a black woman.
Yo,
okay.
Listen, Noni
black.
Noni and my brother is an outlier, and I'm going to check on him tomorrow.
Oh. Come on, man. Dad was right. Just okay. Dad was right. Black man.
No. So obviously, I was being obtuse and I was being extreme on purpose. But I think that you do have outliers of every sect of people that are willing to do these things. I just don't see black men in mass doing this shit.
They do. I'm telling you, they do it a lot.
Maybe y'all need to open up. You got to open up your vision.
I hate to tell you, there's earthy men.
I know more. I know a lot about. See, that's another thing. What Polly said, that thing irks me. People think they're open because they're open to perversion. That don't make you open. You just wilding. That don't make you more open than me. You wilding. That's what it is.
Have you heard the concept?
I'm just saying that the men that I frequent around, I don't. At the very least, they don't exude this type of behavior. That's all I'm saying.
They what?
Wait, what's the behavior that we're speaking